Ladies and gentlemen, close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath in, and let it go again. Inhale, and exhale, bring your awareness to the space around your body, feel the intelligence within you. That quiet knowing, that still voice that whispers, you are always more than you believed. Now, open your eyes. Today we are standing at a threshold, not a metaphorical one, but a very real, very tangible shift in consciousness. The kind of shift that changes how you see everything, your past, your future, and your power. You see, for years, maybe decades, there were parts of you that were hidden, dormant, sleeping, not because you weren't good enough, not because you were broken, but because you weren't ready, not yet. Your soul signed a contract with time, a sacred agreement that what is within you would remain veiled until the precise moment you became capable of holding it, until your nervous system could withstand the frequency of who you actually are, and that moment is now God. The divine intelligence, the infinite consciousness, whatever language resonates with you, is unlocking what was hidden. And not just unlocking it for the sake of revelation, but because you've aligned your biology with your destiny. You've recalibrated your heart. You've chosen awareness over habit. You've stepped into coherence, where your thoughts, emotions, and energy are no longer at war, but working in harmony. This isn't magic. It's not a miracle in the way we were taught to think of miracles. This is biology meeting divinity. Your cells, yes, the ones listening right now, are tuning to a new signal. The electromagnetic field of your heart is broadcasting a new message. I'm ready. And when you say I'm ready, the universe listens. The unseen starts arranging itself. The doors you didn't even know existed begin to open. What once felt like chaos you now recognize as recalibration. The struggle you endured wasn't punishment, it was preparation. It was sculpting your mind to perceive what it previously couldn't. Think about it. How many times have you asked for clarity and instead received confusion? How many times did you beg for answers and got silence? It's because clarity would have been wasted on a mind still addicted to survival, but not anymore. You've shifted. You've upgraded the software of your identity. And now, revelation doesn't just come at flows. Ideas are arriving in dreams. Insights strike you while walking. Opportunities find you, not because you chase them, but because you match them. That's resonance. That's alignment. That's what happens when the hidden becomes visible, when the seed within finally breaks through the soil. But let me be clear, this isn't the end. It's the beginning. The unlocking is an invitation, not a conclusion. It asks you, can you embody this? Can you live from this new place? Because when God reveals, He also requires. He requires you to remember, not intellectually but cellularly. He asks you to walk differently, to speak differently, to love as if you've touched the eternal, because you have. So as you move forward from today, I invite you to stop looking for what you already are. Stop chasing what's inside you, and start living as if the veil has lifted, because it has. God is unlocking what was hidden. Because now you're ready, thank you. What was hidden is now being revealed because you're finally aligned. For years, parts of you remained unseen, not because they were lost, but because you weren't in the right internal state to perceive them. This isn't about worthiness, it's about frequency. Just as a radio must be tuned to the right station to hear the music, your inner world must reach a certain level of coherence to receive the signal of what was always within you. Alignment isn't just a spiritual concept, it's measurable in the body. When your brain and heart move into coherence, your electromagnetic field expands, your awareness sharpens, you begin to feel more connected, more whole. The noise of the past quiets, your nervous system stops operating in survival mode, and you shift from reaction to creation. In that space, you become a different observer, one who can finally see what was previously out of reach. The truths, gifts, and callings that once felt distant or veiled are now becoming clear because you've changed the lens through which you perceive reality. You're no longer trying to force things into being through effort alone. Instead, your energy is matching what your soul has always known. And when energy aligns with intention, the hidden begins to surface, not in chaos, but with precision. This process isn't mystical, it's deeply natural. Just as a seed won't sprout until the soil, temperature, and light are right, your inner knowing won't emerge until your mind, emotions, and energy are in harmony. That's what alignment is. Not perfection, but readiness. A readiness that's felt on a cellular level, a readiness that signals to the universe, to God, that you're no longer resisting your becoming, you're embodying it. Your readiness activates divine timing. Timing is not random, it's intelligent. It responds not to your wishes, but to your level of preparedness. You can want something deeply, you can pray for it daily, but if your body, mind, and emotional state aren't aligned with what you're asking for, it won't arrive, not because it's being withheld, but because you wouldn't be able to hold it. Readiness isn't about having the perfect plan, it's about becoming the person who can sustain what's being given. There are moments in life when it feels like nothing is moving, like doors are closed and silence stretches endlessly. But in that stillness, something is happening beneath the surface. You're being prepared. Every experience, every delay, every heartbreak or detour is part of an invisible synchronization process that aligns your inner state with your future reality. Divine timing isn't something you control. It's something you meet through internal transformation. Readiness is energetic. It's when your thoughts stop contradicting your desires. It's when your emotions stop sabotaging your intentions. It's when your nervous system is no longer bracing for disappointment but is open to receiving. At that point, the external world responds. The people, opportunities, and insights you've been waiting for begin to emerge, not by coincidence, but because your frequency now matches the reality you once only envisioned. Think of it like a lock and key. The door doesn't open just because you knock harder. It opens when you carry the right key, and that key is your alignment, your integration, your embodiment of readiness. Once that happens, timing no longer feels delayed. It feels perfect. It feels like everything is arriving exactly when it's supposed to, because you've finally become a match for it. You're not discovering something new, you're remembering who you are. Beneath the layers of conditioning, beyond the stories you've inherited and the roles you've played, there exists a deeper truth that has always been with you. It isn't something you have to create or chase. It's something you return to. This remembering is subtle but powerful. It's not a thought, it's a knowing. It doesn't come through effort, it emerges through presence. From the time we're born, we begin to adapt. We learn who we need to be in order to be accepted, loved, or safe. And in that process, pieces of our true nature get buried under expectations, fear, and survival strategies. We forget not because we are weak, but because forgetting is part of the human experience. But forgetting is never final. There's always a signal inside, quiet, persistent, that pulls us back toward ourselves. This process of remembering isn't nostalgic, it's transformational. When you remember who you are, you reclaim your energy. You stop identifying with limitation. You begin to see that your power never left. It was simply waiting beneath the surface for you to access it again. The triggers, the challenges, even the breakdowns were not just obstacles, but initiations, designed to strip away everything false so the real you could reemerge. You've felt it before, in glimpses. That moment of clarity, that spark of recognition, that deep breath where everything feels aligned even if just for a second, that's you remembering, and as those moments stretch longer and become more consistent, your life begins to rearrange itself to reflect your true essence. You're not becoming someone else, you're coming home. What once felt hidden now feels familiar, like returning to a place you never really left, but finally seeing it with clear eyes. Coherence between heart, mind, and body unlocks revelation. When your inner systems are misaligned, when your heart longs for one thing, your mind doubts it, and your body is in a state of stress, clarity remains elusive. You may try to force insight, to push for answers, but nothing arrives clearly because the signal is distorted. Revelation doesn't come through force, it comes through alignment. When your thoughts are in harmony with your emotions and your body is no longer bracing for survival, The truth begins to emerge without resistance. The heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in the body. It communicates with the brain, and together they influence the body's entire energetic signature. When the heart and mind are in coherence, your biology shifts. Stress hormones decrease and a sense of inner order arises. The body receives a signal that it's safe, and in that safety, awareness expands. You begin to perceive more, ideas come through with ease, intuitive guidance becomes stronger, and your connection to the divine intelligence deepens. This state of coherence isn't just emotional, it's physiological. It affects your brainwave patterns, your immune response, and your ability to access higher states of consciousness. Incoherence creates static. Coherence creates clarity, and in that clarity, what was once confusing becomes obvious. What was once hidden feels undeniable. You stop grasping for answers and begin receiving them, often in unexpected and graceful ways. In this state, revelation is not a lightning strike. It's a natural unfolding. It happens because you've created the internal environment that allows it. You've brought your entire being into a state of openness and receptivity. The mind stops racing, the heart opens, and the body relaxes into trust. And from that place, deeper truth begins to rise, not from the outside, but from within. God waits for your nervous system to catch up with your soul. Your soul knows where you're headed. It carries the blueprint of your purpose, your gifts, your potential. It's timeless, limitless, and always aligned with truth. But your nervous system, the part of you shaped by experience, trauma, and memory, moves at a different pace. It's designed to protect you, to anticipate threat, to keep you safe. When it's dysregulated, it can't tell the difference between expansion and danger. So even if your soul is ready, your body might not be. This is why growth often feels delayed. Not because you're failing, but because your system is being given time to regulate, to heal, to recalibrate. The wisdom of divine timing isn't random. It honors your biology. You cannot receive what your body still interprets as a threat. Abundance, visibility, love, success. These things require safety, and safety is felt, not forced. It lives in the rhythms of your breath, the openness of your posture, the quiet of your internal dialogue. God, in infinite wisdom, does not rush this process. Divine intelligence waits, not out of reluctance, but out of mercy. It allows you to build the inner structure necessary to hold what is coming. This is not punishment, it's protection. Your nervous system needs to know that expansion doesn't equal danger, that stepping into your next level won't cost you your peace, your belonging, or your identity. Only then can your outer world begin to shift in ways that last. This is why stillness matters, why presence matters. When you slow down enough to listen to your body and soothe its signals, you create space for your soul to lead. You create conditions where divine revelation doesn't overwhelm but integrates, where spiritual truth lands gently into the physical form. Struggle was never punishment, it was preparation. Every obstacle, every delay, every moment of uncertainty was part of a larger process shaping you into someone who could hold more. Not just more success or visibility, but more clarity, more power, more truth. The struggles you've faced weren't meant to break you. They were designed to break down what was false, to strip away what could not come with you into your next level. They were refining fires, not random storms. In times of struggle, it's easy to question everything. Your path, your purpose, even your worth. But often, those moments were the exact conditions needed to awaken dormant parts of you. Pain forces presence. Discomfort demands attention. And in that attention, you began to uncover the patterns, beliefs, and wounds that were running your life. The struggle revealed where you were living from survival instead of wholeness, from fear instead of faith. It wasn't punishment, it was information. The very challenges you wanted to avoid became the catalysts for your expansion. They forced you to choose differently, to question deeply, to let go of identities that no longer fit. You were being carved out, made spacious enough to receive what was waiting for you all along. Growth is not clean or comfortable, it's disruptive. But within the disruption, there was always direction. There was always a deeper intelligence at work, aligning what felt like chaos into sacred order. Struggle taught you resilience, but more than that, it taught you discernment. It taught you how to hear your inner voice in the noise. It taught you to anchor yourself when nothing made sense, and that anchoring was the preparation. Not just for what you would receive, but for who you would become while holding it, embodying it, and living from it without fear or resistance. You don't chase purpose. You magnetize it through resonance. Purpose is not something you run after, it's something you align with. It's not out there in the distance, waiting to be discovered like a hidden treasure. It's already woven into your being, waiting for the moment when your energy matches its frequency. When you chase purpose from a place of lack or urgency, you disconnect from the very state that allows it to find you. But when you begin to live in coherence, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned with truth, you become magnetic to what's meant for you. Resonance is not about striving, it's about tuning. Just like a tuning fork vibrates in harmony with the right frequency, your life begins to harmonize with clarity when you release resistance. You stop chasing approval, outcomes, and timelines. You start listening, trusting, and responding from a deeper intelligence within. That's when purpose reveals itself, not as a concept, but as a lived experience. Every time you choose presence over performance, embodiment over expectation, you shift your vibration. And purpose is not attracted to noise or confusion. It responds to clarity. It shows up when your inner world is stable enough to hold it. It flows to the version of you that no longer needs it to prove anything, but is ready to live it with integrity and devotion. You don't magnetize purpose by doing more. You magnetize it by becoming more conscious, more regulated, more true to your essence. The more honest you become with yourself, about what energizes you, what drains you, what moves you, the more the path unfolds naturally. You begin to feel pulled rather than pushed, guided rather than grasping. And in that pull, in that quiet yes that rises from within, you begin to embody a life that doesn't seek purpose. It radiates it. Revelation requires embodiment, not just insight. Insight is the spark, it's the moment of clarity when something clicks. When truth rises to the surface, and you finally see what you couldn't before. But insight alone isn't transformation. It's only the beginning. Without embodiment, insight stays in the mind. It becomes inspiration without integration, knowledge without change. To truly be transformed by revelation, you must bring it into your body, your choices, your daily rhythm. Embodiment means living the truth you've received, even when it's inconvenient, even when it disrupts old patterns. It means letting the new awareness inform how you speak, how you respond, how you carry yourself. It's not enough to know you are worthy, you must walk like you are. It's not enough to understand your power, you must make decisions from it. True embodiment turns insight into identity. It's how revelation becomes reality. This is why growth is not measured by how much you know, but by how much you've become. Many people collect insights, chasing the next breakthrough, the next teaching, the next spiritual high. But embodiment asks for stillness. It asks you to pause and apply, to live slowly enough that the truth can take root. That's where the work begins, not in the learning, but in the living. The body holds patterns. It remembers trauma, fear, hesitation. So when new truth arrives, the nervous system has to adjust. This is why integration can feel uncomfortable. You're asking your body to live in a new frequency, to trust what it has not yet experienced as safe. But the more consistently you embody the revelation, the more your body believes it. It stops waiting for the past to repeat. It starts recognizing the present as real, and from there, everything begins to change at the level of being. Your biology is now catching the frequency of destiny. Destiny isn't a fixed point out there waiting to be reached. It's a living, evolving potential embedded within your very cells. Every cell in your body carries intelligence, memory, and potential. When you shift your energy, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, you change the environment within which your biology operates. This shift allows your cells to resonate with a higher frequency, a frequency aligned with your purpose and potential. For most of your life, Your biology may have been tuned to survival patterns: fight, flight, or freeze. These patterns are protective but limited. They keep you trapped in familiar cycles, reacting to the world rather than creating it. But as you evolve internally, your nervous system begins to rewire, your brain creates new neural pathways, your heart's electromagnetic field expands, your body starts producing hormones and neurotransmitters that support growth, healing, and creativity instead of fear and resistance. This biological transformation is what allows you to step into your destiny, not by sheer willpower, but by becoming a match for it. Destiny requires a certain internal environment to thrive. It requires that your body no longer resists change, but welcomes it. It requires that your cells recognize abundance, love, and success as their natural state, rather than exceptions. When your biology catches this frequency, you start to experience the world differently. Opportunities arise with ease, relationships shift, challenges become invitations for growth rather than threats. You embody a sense of flow that feels guided, purposeful, and expansive. This is not coincidence. It's the natural outcome of your inner alignment manifesting outwardly. Your body, mind, and spirit are no longer fragmented but united, creating a powerful signal that draws destiny towards you like a magnet. The unlocking is only the beginning. Now comes the integration. When what was hidden finally reveals itself, it can feel overwhelming. Suddenly, new possibilities, insights, and energies flood your awareness. But revelation alone does not complete the journey. It marks the threshold of transformation, not the destination. The real work begins as you learn to live from this new place, to weave the awakening into every aspect of your being and daily life. Integration is the process of embodying what has been unlocked. It requires patience, practice, and presence. Your nervous system, your habits, your identity all need time to adjust. You cannot rush this process because your body and mind must catch up to your new consciousness. Integration means allowing the changes to become natural, seamless, and sustainable. It's not about forcing yourself to act differently, but about becoming so aligned inside that your actions flow effortlessly from this new state. This phase asks for humility as well as courage. It asks you to notice when old patterns try to pull you back and to gently choose again, moment by moment, to step into your expanded self. You might face resistance, both internal and external, as the world around you responds to your transformation. But each challenge is an invitation to deepen your commitment to this new way of being. Integration also deepens your connection to the divine intelligence that unlocked these hidden parts of you. It is through living these revelations that you honor the process and open the door to even greater unfoldings. The first unlocking is like a seed breaking through the soil. Integration is the nurturing that allows it to grow strong, rooted, and fruitful. This ongoing dance between revelation and embodiment creates a powerful cycle of evolution that propels you forward into a life lived fully awake, aligned, and free.